Instagram's loading, Facebook's loading. Looks like we're live. Welcome. Episode 134 live. We'll give you a second to get caught up. Get checked in. Thanks for being here on a Sunday night. And a great weekend. I hope you guys all had a great weekend as well. Elise, good evening to you from Wheaton. Jeff is checking in number 2. Good evening, sir. Both of you guys are up. No, Jeff's on the west, just further west than Elise. Got it. I remember that. I'm trying to remember where everybody's from. That makes it difficult sometimes. April from Georgia, good evening to you. Kim, hello. How are you? Ellen from Miami. It's cold in Miami. Ellen, I have a special treat specifically for you that I'll announce during the show, but you'll hear it in the intro of the show. Ellen, I may even give a shout out to you and Lee. Let me make a note of that before I forget. Got it. All right, so you're in the opening of the show, Ellen. You'll see. Angie, good evening to you. Looks like Instagram's firing up pretty good, too. Good evening, everyone over there on Instagram. Angie, good evening. Diane, good evening. Kim, hello. Kim, you know, it's funny. I was cleaning up my office today, Kim, and I'm pretty sure is that from you, Kim? It is, right? I think it is. Let me check. Ah, it is. See, I knew that. I was cleaning up my office and I not found because it was on my desk, but had that card and it made me smile again. So I was like, oh, I'll put it up there. It's hard to point on camera. So anyway, thanks, Kim, for that. Hey, Deb, good evening to you. Joanne is here. Good evening from rainy Syracuse. I don't know if we've talked about this before, Joanne, but the only thing I know about Syracuse is the dinosaur. So I'm sure if you're from Syracuse, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Karen, good evening from Long Island. Let's see. Atlanta, Liz is checking in. San Diego's checking in. Eileen. Yay. Penny checking in from New Jersey. Angie, it's cold. Yeah, it's cold everywhere. North Carolina's cold. Lee, howdy. Lee, yeah, you're going to hear in the opening of the show. You and Ellen, for sure, both will get a shout out in the opening of the show, I promise you. Margie, hiya. Gail from Illinois, still down in Naples. Good for you. Stay out of the cold if you can do it. Central Florida, Paula's checking in. Arkansas. What's WPS, Jamie? It says, Happy Sunday from Arkansas. WPS. With points saved. That's what I'm going with. Jamie's checking in with points saved. Lakeland Village, California. Good evening, Becky. Deb, is there a picture of... Yeah, thanks for Puyallup again is checking in. Ta, good evening. Thank you for always putting it phonetically because I'll never remember how to pronounce it until I live there. Right, and you can always tell, like, you know, it's like we live in a town called Carmel, and a lot of people say Carmel because of California is the popular pronunciation. So anytime someone says, "Oh, you're from Carmel," it's like, "Yeah, you're not from here, are you?" So if I say Puyallup, you know I'm not from Puyallup. How's that? Alicia, hello. Colby, hello. Good evening. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. Deb from Chile. I think the common theme tonight is from Chile somewhere. Wherever you're checking in from, Chile seems to be the adjective in front of the next word. So good evening from Chile, Michigan. Yeah, Kim confirms it's cold in Flippin, Arkansas too. Yes, that's a real town name. I want to move to. That's it. We're packing up and we're moving to Flippin, Arkansas. Period. That's cool. Chrissy out of West Hartford. Good evening to you. Kansas City, Julie's checking in. Chrissy is also saying from the winning Buckeye State. So OH. I'll let you finish that. Chilly in Vero Beach also. If it's cold in Florida, it's just not good. Yes, Kim, Tuesday we do the Operation FatDag talk, so that's coming right up. Alicia needs a rowboat. Let's see, sunny Tucson. There we go. We have something besides cold, but you got to go far out west to get it, and south, I guess. Woo pig suey, but you like with points saved is better. Yep, Lee and Ellen, you're famous. You'll hear. You may not like it, but you'll hear. Lee, another person checking in from Wheaton. Good evening to you. Let's see. This is funny. My wife says hello from upstairs. That's pretty. Hello. Hello. She'd rather type to me than talk to me. That's pretty funny. Deb Snyder saying, awesome weekend, hit 90 degrees yesterday and ran your first, hit 90 pounds, hit minus 90 yesterday and ran your first half marathon today. Come on, let's get that written down. How cool is that? That's just awesome. Awesome. Did I not bring my pen? There it is. I have a special pen that I like to write in this book with. So Deb Snyder hit minus 90 yesterday and ran her first half marathon. That's so awesome. That is flippin' awesome. Out of Arkansas, right? 10, 29, 17. Very cool. Congratulations, Deb. That's fan. So just, real quick, right? When was the last time that was even possible? Was it ever possible in your life? Just out of curiosity. We don't know each other very well, but was that possible 90 pounds ago? My guess is no. Yeah, Lee, I live in Wayupsep, Indiana. Yeah, that's very funny. We'll call that, this little circle is Wayupsep. Yeah, so very cool. So Deb confirms that nope, wasn't possible 90 pounds ago. Ontario, Canada, Lisa checking in. Always love when we have the show. When the show becomes international, that's when it's fun. So Lisa, and it's really cool to have the folks from Canada here, because what that means is I don't know, a lot of you know this, but there's a couple different versions of Connect. A lot of us were on Connect. Obviously, we interacted there, but there's a Canadian version, there's a US version, there's a UK version. So if you're checking in from Canada, that means we haven't connected on the actual Connect app, unless you're somehow into the US version. So therefore, it's the showing and the growing online that's making this happen. So thank you all for that. Bridget, good evening to you. How are you? Very fun. Lisa's cold in Sonoma. Rainy in Delaware. Marie, thanks for checking in on the app all the time. Yeah, the app was updated again this weekend. So if you didn't get the update, go ahead and refresh the update. I got a crash report saying that the crashes on the app were higher than normal, and so started back to the development team. They figured out what it was. They retooled a couple things, and we pushed out a new update to the app. So if you experienced crashes before, sorry. I think it was a combination of the iOS 11. We were developing the app at the same time the Apple was developing 11, and then once it released, some of those things just weren't exactly compatible. So all is good now. So very fun. Ellen says Janine is not my daughter. Janine's my lovely wife. So New Jersey, Rainy checking in. Let's see who else. Brent's Georgia, Lori's checking in. Minnesota, glad to be live. Lori, good evening. Kentucky, hello. Stephen, sorry, Stephanie. Might need my glasses. Stephanie checking in from Kentucky. Kentucky's not very far. Well, depends on where in Kentucky. Louisville's not far from here. Deb, good evening. You can finally see. Woohoo! Franklin, Cheryl checking in. Burr, yep. Kristen said, I went over my points today, stayed with my grandma last night. Ooh, grandmas are good for that, aren't they? Very fun. All right, well, let's go ahead and get episode 134 in the books. Donna's checking in from St. Louis. Laura says it's cold in Florida, good for bike riding. I'm going to skip around a little bit. Very cool. Lori says, great report from your doctor today. Down 35 pounds since surgery in February. He was super excited. You should be super excited, too. It sounds like you are. Linda from Sandwich, Illinois. So we have Flippin, Arkansas, Sandwich, Illinois, and Puyallup. That's pretty fun. And then Wayupsep in Indiana. Very fun, very fun. Let's see. Jamie says, even though I was up 3 pounds yesterday at weigh-in, I found a pair of old favorite blue jeans in the top of the closet. Haven't worn since 2012. They're now too baggy and sagging. Love a good pair of soft denims in the fall. I agree, but if they're big and saggy, get rid of them. Period. No exceptions. Yeah. Karen checking in from Fort Wayne. Let's see. Katie survived my first weigh-in, down 4.8. Yay! Stamford, Connecticut. Cece's checking in. Let's see. All right, skipping ahead here. So that's pretty cool. Let's get that one written down, and then we'll go to the live show. I always like. There's a lot of things I like, but this type of stuff is awesome. Can you guys read that? Ellen says, off my blood pressure medicines. Thrilled. Well, heck yeah, you should be thrilled. Congratulations, Ellen. Way to get off your blood pressure medicine. You know, and you realize you did that. It's that simple. You did that. Very cool. Very cool. All right, so let's episode, Riverside, California. Let's see, Terry from Kansas City, Missouri. So very cool. Modesto checking in. Very nice. Bum, 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 bum. Mic check, testing 1 2, testing 1 2 3. Love it. I know it appears redundant that I check this all the time, but I've had a couple times, I've told you this now, I've had a couple times that I go back to the end of the show and there's either no audio or the audio is corrupt. And then I have to steal the audio off of this microphone. Testing. The Facebook people can hear me really good now. I have to steal the audio from that microphone, which isn't nearly as good as the audio from this microphone. So I'm a little OCD about the audio quality. All right, are you guys ready for episode 134? I'm ready. I'm ready to get this thing done. Everybody know what the rule is? Yeah, here comes everyone. Folks on Instagram, the folks on Facebook, they're pretty conditioned to the routine here. So the routine is the show starts around 10, around 10:15, 10:20. We go into a mic check. We do everything ready. And just before the show goes live, we do a toast. Right? So Facebook people are all pushing the water emojis. And here it is. A little high quality H2O again. So everybody cheers. Drink up. Ooh, made a little bit of mess. Done. I'll refill it. It'll be ready for tomorrow. All right, episode 134 now. All right, everything's still recording. Yeah, you gotta, I drink a ton of water. You gotta drink water. Instagram folks, you ready for this? Here we go. I always, Rianne? No, Rianne, no. Unfortunately not at the moment. I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com. Follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello, and welcome to episode 134 of WhysAdvice. I want to open the show today with something very, very special. As you know, I record the show at night. I record it live. Those people, on Facebook and Instagram get to watch the entire thing go down. We do about a 10-minute pre-show and then maybe about an hour post-show after. But it's going to take me some time tonight to get this to the air. So this won't hit the air until Monday morning. It's when it'll go in the app. And on Monday morning, it's my dad's birthday. My mom and dad, as you know, they're following along the plan. They're doing very well. But one of the coolest things about this is that my dad's finally taking care of his health. He's doing amazing. He's rocking the program, solid tracking, and he's winning. And that means we get to spend a lot more years together because I took care of my health. He's taking care of his health. Mom's taking care of her health. We're all just getting healthy. So, Dad, happy birthday, man. Love you more than you know. Obviously, I wish we lived closer. But, we'll have to spend the time together that we can and enjoy it. And I promise you there'll be many, many, many more. So, Dad, from me to you, happy birthday. Love you with all my heart for sure. So if you want to know when this show goes live, I get a lot of questions. The number one comment I get, I think, through Facebook or through Twitter, this is a shout out to Ellen and Lee. If it wasn't for the two of them, I don't know that I'd have enough comments in my Facebook feed, but the two of them, they dove right in. They're huge fans of the show. And just about every day, one of them pings me and says, "Are you doing a live show tonight? Are you doing a live show tonight? When's the show going to go live?" And as you know, I try and do it every single day, except for the days that I can't get to it. So what I did today, in honor of the two of them, is I made a link on FatDag.com. There's a calendar link that's out there. It's been out there for a little while, but it's been a little dated. I was able to update everything, added a Google Calendar, and I will update that daily, whether there's a show or not a show for the evening. So keep an eye on that. Go to FatDag.com, click on events, and then you'll see the Google Calendar, and that'll tell you what days the show is going to go live, what episode is going to play. So, for those of you who write in emails, I also set up an auto reply so that if you send me an email, you'll get an auto reply saying, hey, I got your email. You can listen to the show, and then I will let you know when I get you back on the air. And when I get to the point where I use your email in the show, I send you an email back saying, hey, you're on the show. You're on episode 134, for example. At that point, you can also click on the calendar and see when 134 will hit the air. So a couple things I added today. Like I said, that's for Ellen and Lee, and of course for the rest of you to enjoy as well. You can thank them for that integration. So go ahead and check it out. FatDag.com is the website. There's all kinds of stuff out there. The other thing that I'm really really excited about is I put my weight entry out there every single morning. I hop on my Nokia Health Scale and it just automatically sends it out there. So very fun. There'll be a link in the show notes to all of that where you can check that out if you forget the links. But get the app if you don't already have it. The WhysAdvice app is in your app store. One of the cool features that we released, we were having a couple of bugs with the iOS update, so we just recently released an update to the app, and then you can comment directly on each episode using the Facebook plugin, so you can see, what other people are thinking about the episode. So I'd really like you to dive into that, so I can kind of see how that's working, and maybe we can integrate and interact in there as well. We'll open up the show with an email from Rochelle. She says, "Hi, Mike. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do. We both hit big milestones this week, you on your 100th episode, and I hit 100 pounds lost. I've been trying to catch up on your older episodes, so I'm not sure which one this was, but you were talking about exercise and increasing it by 10%, so I set this goal for myself. Each week in my journal, I have this reminder, and I finally hit 5,200 steps. I know this isn't a lot, but I use a walker, and I know there are a lot of others like me, so I hope my message will help just one person to keep fighting. Your podcast has helped me during some of my really tough days, so thank you, and I can't wait until we both hit the next big milestones. I know I'm much more than a number on the scale, but for the first time in my life, I'm no longer hiding behind my weight or using food to control my emotions. Sincerely, Rochelle." Rochelle, congratulations on your 100-pound loss. There's only a handful of people. You've heard me say this more than once if you're listening to the show. There are only a handful of people on this planet who can say they've lost 100 pounds. Congratulations. That is extreme focus. That's super discipline. That's you setting a goal, telling yourself what it is that you want to do, and getting it done, making a lot of hard decisions along the way, but the decisions were always bounced against your why. So you did fantastic job. I'm proud of you. Take a moment to let that sink in. 100 pounds lost. Now, I appreciate you catching up on the episode, but I want to give you a couple little nudges here. And you're right. Is our exercise? I want you to set an attendance goal. And if what I mean by an attendance goal is it does us no good to go out and work out so hard that we have to take a week off from the workout and then we never build the routine. I want us to set an attendance goal so we get out there and do something every day. And then maybe we increase that attendance by about a 5 or 10% just to gradually grow it so that you get to the point where you're increasing it slowly enough where you can continue doing it daily, because I want you to build the habit of doing it. The benefit you get from walking 15,000 steps one day is not the same benefit as you're going to get from walking 5,000 steps every single day. Be proud of that. 5,200 steps is an amazing accomplishment for a daily person to be doing that daily. And then when you add in the fact that you're doing it with a walker, it's even more impressive. You're absolutely right. There are people just like you all over the place that someone right now heard that and went, wait a minute, she's getting 5,200 steps with a walker? Well, I can do that. If she can do it, I can do it. So I appreciate you writing in your email. Just to give you some heads up, let me just check, just because I don't know. I look at my step tracker right now. It's been a full day. It says 2,000 steps. That's it. It was a slow day for me. I had a lot of downtime, a lot of car time. So 2,000 steps is all I did for the day. I didn't do much. So 5,200 for you in a day is incredible. The days that I don't work out, I don't do 5,200 steps sometimes. So congratulations on doing that. Now, let's not compare ourselves, even though we just did a quick comparison there. What I want you to do is I don't want you to sit and get in that comparison trap where you see someone else do it and you feel like you need to increase because someone else did it. Your mind controls this. And when you say, I know this isn't a lot, you're instantly setting yourself up for being a little bit defeated. I want you to reframe that and you want to say, dang it, I did 5,200 steps. I'm proud of that. Regardless of what anyone else has done. That's what I did. That's what I'm capable of. And I can repeat that. And I can get to goal. I'm very glad that you're using the podcast to help get through some really tough days. That's the whole intent of this. As we get out and we share our messages it just lets us all know that what we're doing is possible and that we're not alone. The fact that for the first time in your life, you're no longer hiding behind your weight or using food to control your emotions, that is goal. Congratulations, down 100 pounds. You're mentally at goal. Keep doing what you're doing. You're very inspiring. You're going to be just fine on this journey. I have a feeling that your next email is going to bring tears. So keep up the great work, Rochelle. Way to get it done. Carol writes in and says, Dear FatDag, first of all, thank you so much for all you do for us connectors. I listen to your podcast while I take walk breaks at work. I'm a fairly new member, having joined at the beginning of February at the weight of 242 pounds. I'm 5'7", so I know I have quite a bit to lose. I haven't zeroed in on a goal weight, but I would think it's safe to say I should lose between 80 and 100 pounds at least. I followed the program consistently the first few months and started regularly releasing the weight. However, the program became less shiny and new for me in June and July. I started to falter. I released 6 pounds over those 2 months, but I knew I was capable of more. I wasn't committing myself 100% to the program and my health. So at the beginning of this month, August, I hit the reset button. I set some personal goals for the month and established a target to hit Wonderland by Labor Day. I was 6 pounds away from that target. I created an August 2017 reset hashtag and asked if anyone wanted to join me. And to my delighted surprise, I had some takers. So I've been posting to the group to get us going every morning. And in just 2 weeks, I lost those 6 pounds and I got to Wonderland this week. So what made the difference? How could I lose 6 pounds in 2 months and then turn around and lose those same amount in 2 weeks? Well, there are obvious reasons such as adhering to my points allowance, moving more, drinking water, and staying determined. But the key to my success this month was that I did not do this alone. I reached out and I found others who wanted the same thing. I also turned my focus off of myself and I looked to see how I could encourage others. And that, in turn, kept me encouraged to meet my goal. My next mini goal is to weigh less than my husband. I'll get there, honestly, and I pledge not to feed him too many cookies and cake in order to close the gap. Thanks again, Carol. Carol is finally Fit Carol on Connect. Carol, what a cool, fun email. I would say if you want to weigh less than him, beat him at his own game, but you don't have to feed him extra to do it. You absolutely have the right mindset to do it the old-fashioned way, and that's by working for it. So congratulations on hitting Wonderland, an amazing accomplishment for sure. It's one of those things that you'll have for life. You can keep it. You know how to do this. What we do as we share our stories, just like you found the hashtag and found that we didn't want to do this alone, that's why I share this podcast with Connect. I want to give back because, a little insight into my journey, my first post on Connect went viral instantly. I got like 8,000 likes and a handful, probably 4,000 or 5,000 comments. I can't remember now, but a few thousand comments on the very first post I put on Connect. So as people started following me, I quickly realized that I needed to kind of please the Connect community because people were watching what I was doing. So I had to be really good at the program because I didn't want to let Connect down. I wasn't thinking about me at that point. I was thinking about, if I said this was hard, I didn't want someone else to think it was hard and give up. So I kept saying I can do this. I kept trying to prove that it was possible. And then I saw other people do it who inspired me. But that whole piece where I watched people and then I kept working and then people watched me, that is kind of what got me to goal. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to give back to the Connect community because the Connect community, what the Connect community gave me is priceless. You can't buy that anywhere. You can't buy that level of support, that true, honest support. You can't buy it. So when I realized I got to goal, I wanted nothing more than for you to come with me. And so that's where this podcast came from. It was just one of those, I want everyone who wants to do this, I want them to know they have support and they can get it done. So your email, I'm going to go through the stage. I'm going to walk through your email with you. And you've zeroed in on your goal weight. You haven't yet, zeroed in your goal weight. It's safe to say you want to lose between 80 and 100. Set a goal of changing your life. That's the only goal you should set. And at some point you'll get there and your life will be completely different. You'll hop on the scale and you'll say, I don't want to lose any more weight. And at that point, you just continue living that mindset. But we don't know, if you're 80 to 100 pounds overweight, you don't know what that's going to look like when you get there. So we don't set ourselves a target on a goal. That's why we just set mini goals along the way and encourage you to just change your life. If you change your life and start living healthy, that's the true reward. Don't set dates on, I'm glad to see you hit it, but setting a date of I must lose so many pounds by such and such a date, a lot of time that brings undue pressure. And not only does it bring undue pressure, but if for some reason we miss that date by a day or two, we feel like a complete disappointment and we forget the fact that maybe we lost 60 pounds and we missed it by 2 or 3 or whatever the numbers are. So I always say, rather than setting a date, set that again. Say, I want to have 25 blue dots by the end of the month. I want to have so many steps by the end of the month. Things you can actually control. You can't control the number on the scale. Creating the hashtag was probably a great motivator for you, but that falls into what I consider in the middle of your email was the great how versus the why debate. I've talked about more than once, so we call the program WhysAdvice, but I talk about the power of the why to get you wanting to do this. How that compares to your how is different. Your how is the mechanism you use to get to goal. The why keeps you focused on your how. The two of them, they work hand in hand to get you there, but you can't really have one without the other. Now, certainly you can do very well with your how. And so, a good example of some hows is that, maybe point manipulation, over-exercising, checking in on Connect, protein hacks, Connect. The podcast is a how. Going to your meeting is a how. All those things lead you, as long as they're new and exciting, you can stay in the game and you can stay mindful. A lot of folks, I'm sure they tune into the podcast for the very first time and they probably did very well to 3 or 4 episodes. And then when all of a sudden they said, yeah, I'm good, and they quit listening to the podcast, that fades away. But if they're not tied deeply to why they're doing this, then that kind of shiny penny piece kind of goes away. And so what we want to do is if you either have to have a toolbox full of hows so that as one becomes boring, you can jump to the next, or you can manipulate your hows enough so that, again, as one becomes, yeah, I've kind of done that a couple times. Everybody gets in that trap of where we feel like we got it. We don't need the tools that we're using. If you're not clearly focused on why you're doing it, then the list of hows you have to have, and you have to keep them exciting, is longer than many of us can endure. If you stay focused on your why, your hows become a little more exciting, and they stay shiny and new significantly longer because they're fueled with an amazing why. So keep up the amazing work, Carol. I know you can do this. You can do whatever you want to do. You can completely set your mindset. Don't put a date on it. Don't put a goal on it. Just choose the goal of living healthy. So keep up the great work, Carol. Thank you for your email. Out of Pennsylvania, Denise writes in and says, hi, I had stage 3 breast cancer that metastasized. My treatment consisted of surgery, chemo, and radiation and lasted for a year. I still take a chemo pill daily. I am finally in remission, but the after effects have done a number on my body. I have neuropathy, no energy, severe pain in my body every day that stops my everyday activities. I now walk with a walker, and I'm considered disabled. My mind is sharp. I joined Weight Watchers for the purpose of getting healthy and learning to eat healthy to bring my chances of cancer coming back down and to help with my diabetes. Truthfully, I never even thought about losing weight. I just wanted to get healthy and to repair the damage from the chemo. I track everything that goes in my mouth, and I have lost 30 pounds and 10%. I am eating healthier now, and I feel happy. Thanks to my meetings and watching you every night, I know I'm going to keep up with this because, truthfully, I love Weight Watchers. Thanks for all your help. I absolutely love your show. Sincerely, Denise. Denise, congratulations on your 10%. As we've talked about more than once on the show, if you've hit 10%, then you absolutely can hit goal. 10% is proof that through the hard times, through the difficult times, you can set a goal, you can set on your sights on it, you can go after it, and through all the ups and downs, you can still push forward and get it done. If you've hit 10%, nothing changes in the program. Keep doing everything that you're doing, and at some point, you will reach your goal. You will reach the point where you say, I am as healthy as I've ever been, and I don't want anything to change. Now, I had an honor of walking in the Project Lift 5K here at Indianapolis, and I walked to honor you and everyone just like you, everyone who goes through all those things that, I wanted to let that community know that you're absolutely not alone. There were thousands of us out there doing it, and it was amazing to see the support, see the survivors out there, and, one day we'll be out there getting it done, and I would love to have a chance to walk with you. The fact that you're walker enabled, you're walking with the walker, and you're considered disabled, I don't believe that's going to stop you. What you've been through is an incredible journey. You're doing a fantastic job, and the fact that you're now saying, I want to eat to be healthy, is something that you're going to have to celebrate. Think of this for a second. No matter what is going on in our life, eating healthy should be the goal. Cookies don't replace dinner. A cake doesn't replace breakfast food. So you can make healthy choices because no matter what's going on, you're using Weight Watchers to look the food up, build a strategy, figure out which foods are better than other foods, and then tracking and staying on your plan. Following the plan the way you are is you're learning how to eat. You're learning the value and the nutritional input that food is giving to your body. You're learning how to survive off of, the higher rich protein foods. You're learning how to feel that true full feeling that comes from just tracking and following the plan. When you're out of points, you stop eating points. All of that is the beauty of the program. When worked properly and you follow the program, you can learn that, no matter what is going on, I can be healthy. I can make better choices. Just because I have, this mess going on in my life that I've beaten doesn't mean I need to dive face first into a bag of potato chips. I can choose a healthier version, and I can live a much happier life, and you can rebuild your body. You've heard it time and time again on this show where someone's written in that they're off their blood pressure medicine, their diabetes has gone away, their cholesterol levels are down. We can allow our bodies to rebuild themselves if we just take care of it the best way we can. Denise, you're clearly doing that. Down 10%. You're eating healthier now, and you feel you feel happy and healthy, and that is the goal. Congratulations. Evan writes in and said, good morning, Mike. I saw a message from you, so here I am. A bit about myself. I'm 64. I now have a permanent disability due to a fall I took over 2 years ago. This, of course, limits my mobility, although I do try and get 4,000 to 7,000 steps in daily. I have joined Weight Watchers many times before. My first time was back in 1982, then about 7 or 8, maybe more, times after that, both online and in meetings. So in February 2016, while unable to move due to surgery, I joined again with meetings. But I was unable to attend the meetings until I was able to drive again. So here I am. I'm down 12 or 13 pounds. I know that I am to blame, but my mind just will not focus. I don't, and I won't give up, but I'm just upset with myself for spending all this money for a very small reward. I'm not really sure if this is what you wanted me to email you about, but that's my story. Thanks, Evan. Evan, I saw a ray of hope in your post, and I wanted you to reach out, and I'm glad you did, because I wanted to talk to you a little deeper than we were able to online. So the ray of hope that I saw in your message was that, with all the things going on in your life, you're not a quitter. You're a fighter. You went from a point in your life where you were completely disabled, unable to drive, and now you're driving to meetings. What an amazing accomplishment. You're getting 4,000 to 7,000 steps daily from someone at one point who was not able to move due to surgery. If you take a moment and recognize the amazing accomplishment that is in all of this, what an amazing celebration that is. There's a misconception among the community that you need to be an athlete in order to lose weight. And that's so far from the truth. What you need to do is you need to eat right. You need to take care of your body. You need to just do whatever ability and mobility that you have. You need to just build on that. That's what you're doing. Now, you have an amazing advantage as you start this program. You're down 12 to 13 pounds, which is, not at all easy. You did that by focus. You did that by determination. You're not at all to blame. You're to celebrate what you've done. Change your mindset and focus on what is going right in your life. If all you look at is all the positive things that are going on, then at some point you're training your brain to look for more of the positive. There was a trick I used to use a long time ago where I would take a dry erase marker. I would write on my bathroom mirror every morning. I would wake up and I would write down, 3 or 4 things that I'm thankful for. And at some point it was real superficial. And then, after 3 or 4 days of doing that, I started getting to the point where I started to become thankful for things that I had previously kind of written off as just the norm. And so the longer you compete in that exercise, the more you'll start recognizing that, I'm thankful that I have electricity. Yeah, not everyone has electricity. I'm thankful that I'm able to go to work. I'm thankful that I'm able to walk 4,000 steps a day. Okay, on a light day, you're walking 3,000, 2,000 steps a day. That's amazing from someone at some point who was unable to move due to surgery. The thing that happens to us is as we progress further down, we're unable to see how far we've come a lot of times, and I want you to look back at that and celebrate it. Now, people who rejoin Weight Watchers time and time again have an absolutely huge advantage over someone who joins for the very first time. And that advantage is the program works. Not only do you know the program works, that you know the program works for you. You know that you know how to follow the program, and you can have success on it. How do I know that? I know that because if you join Weight Watchers at some point and then you quit, and then you're willing to pay again to rejoin, then it works, right? You would not rejoin up if the program didn't work for you the first time. You obviously found some success as you were working the program all those times before, because you now know it works. So when you start this journey and you continue the journey that you're on right now, you're armed with the information of, I know this works. That's why I'm willing to commit to it. The difference this time is you have the right support network, you have the right group, you can get this done. We're here walking with you to get it done. As you continue working your journey, reach out along the way. Find the different level of motivation. Find folks just like you who are getting it done. Share with what's going on. Celebrate with them. Because when you celebrate every little thing in this journey, that's when you change your mind. When you look at all the positive things and you say, I did that. I'm doing this. That's so much more fun than focusing on all the amazing things that are going wrong in your life. Because you can slowly root them out by shadowing them with all the amazing good stuff. So what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now, send in your celebrations, your comments, and your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in your celebrations because I want you to be proud of what you're doing. And the reason I want you to be proud of what you're doing is because this takes hard work. This is not easy. But every single one of us continuing to be in this program, we know that there is success here. We wouldn't keep doing it if we didn't think it was successful. We wouldn't continue to rejoin if we didn't think it worked. What we have to figure out is how to make it work for us. What guidelines do we have to follow? What motivation tools do we need? And I always will point you back to sticking to your why. I've encouraged you more than once to write it down. Reread it daily if you need to, but focus on why you're joined, why you're working this program. What does success look like? What happens if you don't stick with it? That's not going to happen because you're going to stick with it, and we're going to walk this together until we get there. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Whoop, whoop. There we go. That's episode 134 in the books. So, very fun. Let me think. Let me scroll back through a couple of the comments here. Missed a couple of them. There was a couple of things that I got here. Over on Facebook, Kristen, I see your email on Instagram, or your vote on Instagram. The Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, I can tell you the Facebook group is way more interactive than the Instagram group. There's about 85 people over on Facebook right now, 3 or so on Instagram. So, but I'll continue to do both. But Facebook seems to be the place where everyone kind of jumps in and just goes off. So it's very, very fun. So guys, thank you. Becky says, let's see, Donna says very inspirational tonight. Needed this. Thank you. So Donna, you heard it was like 2 or 3 emails of, folks about getting 4,000 or 5,000 steps in walkers, people who were disabled, people who are battling some cancer issues. Wow. And still doing it. It makes our journey sometimes seem trivial, right? And here I am, a military guy, healthy by all aspects other than completely overweight and on high blood pressure medicine, and I had excuse after excuse of why I couldn't get this done, and then you got people like Evon, saying I couldn't move at one point, and now I'm getting 7,000 steps a day. Man, it makes my excuses kind of look kind of weak, doesn't it? So, and again, it's not a comparison thing, but it's an inspirational thing, and you see people that if you really want to get this done, man, you just find a way to do it other than finding an excuse. So, Lulu, you're welcome for sure. Kim says it's such a different feeling this time, right? And it's if you can get that feeling, then you're at goal, really. Yeah, Ellen. So that's funny. Ellen and Lee. It's funny. I mean, I obviously I hope you got. Hope you got the fact that I was joking with you, but that's the hardest thing for me. I do this obviously when I can, and so I want to do it every night. That's the intent. But even tonight, there was about a 20% chance that tonight I wasn't going to do it because we started getting. All of a sudden, I look at the clock and I was like, oh, I got to go get ready, and I have a to-do list a mile long still that I didn't really accomplish over the weekend. So I was like, okay, do I not do the show and start some of that to-do list stuff, or do I just stay with the show? And so I am. But what I'll commit to you is at least daily I will update that calendar link so you can check there first. If I'm going to do a show, I will put a note out there saying I'm going to. So and I'll know by around 8 or 9 if I'm going to or not. So that's about the time to check in. And obviously you can look at the calendar too. You can see that Tuesdays and Thursdays are my difficult nights. So very fun. Mary said, finally made it to 10% on your way back to Lifetime. Took you a while, but you're okay with it. I'm okay with it too. There's no timeline, and so again, Mary, hopefully you've heard me say this. If you've hit 10%, you can hit goal. No question about it. It's not even like if you hit 10%, you should be able to hit goal. Nope. If you hit 10%, you might. Nope. No mights, no shoulds. If you've hit 10%, you can. Period. Because nothing changes, right? When we hand you as a leader, when we hand you the 10% charm, we don't say, okay, now you've hit 10%. Let's try this. We don't change anything in the program. And everyone I've talked to who's hit 10%, they had a day where they weren't perfect on the plan. So, okay, so you now just need to know that, so I started, I wasn't perfect, and I hit 10%. So if I just repeat all that imperfect part and repeat that, then I'll just lose another 10%. There we go, and then I'll just keep going. Oh, and then I'll hit goal. So another April hit 10% as well. Very fun. Yeah, Deb, so I love it. I wasn't going to say it that loudly, but Deb says, great show with success stories from so many people with big challenges. Y'all stop whining now. Me too. I'll stop whining that I didn't have time to get more than 2,000 steps today. Wah. And here these people are with walkers out passing me. It's amazing. Yeah, so, you'll either find a way or you'll find an excuse. That's it. Oops. Liz says, Mike, lifetime getting back to goal, 1 pound to go. Liz, congratulations. Donna, very cool. Donna says, how do you have MS and you're still doing it? So that's the piece of that. I don't know how to word this. At some point I'm going to try and figure out how I want to word this into a true episode, but just because we have a walker, just because we're disabled, just because we have MS, just because we have cancer, all terrible things, but just because we have those doesn't mean we need chocolate cake for breakfast. Doesn't mean we need, leftover pizza for breakfast. Now neither of those two things are terrible once in a great while, but if our normal habits and routines take us into doing that consistently, and we're battling illness on top of it, well, that's a recipe for disaster. So no matter what's going on in your life, you can make a healthier choice. That's kind of the answer is make a healthier choice. So. Kristen's over here on Facebook. Very fun. Lee, you're so right. Every single person has their own personal setbacks. And so what's interesting, Lee, is, even if it's, if your setbacks and my setbacks are different, 100% of the setback that I own is mine. And it impacts me the same way yours does. They may be completely two different things, but the impact on our own journeys are the same to the individual. And you have to just figure out how to work with them, how to deal with. You got to play the cards you're dealt, and you can still win. Let's see. Yeah, so there's April. So this is April chiming in. April has MS. Donna has MS. So you guys are fantastic, and now you have support. So hopefully, the two of you are connecting outside of here and finding each other on Connect and following each other's journey. Both of you, if you're not, get into the Wise Wingman Facebook group. Hopefully you're already there, but wisewingman.com. It'll launch you automatically back into the Facebook group. That's all people who listen to the show can meet in there. So the intent is to get in there and share each other's journey, talk to each other, find unique support that helps you along your journey. So hopefully you guys have done that. Yeah, Lee, for sure. Same scenario. Stephanie says, very on point for you. You will make attendance goal this week. No excuses. Right? So Stephanie, just to kind of elaborate on that, if you haven't heard the podcast on the attendance goal pieces, one of the things I say is that it does us no good to go out and do a Navy SEAL kickboxing cardio extreme workout in a hot yoga room if we can only do it once a year. You may burn 7,000 calories in a day, which, obviously you can't, but you may burn, I guess you can, but maybe you burn 3,000 calories in a day, but I'm positive if you do that, you will be so sore and so tired that you'll need 2, 3, 4, 5 days, a week, a month, 2 months off from exercise to recover. What I would rather you do is get up and walk 20 feet and do that every single day, and at some point it's 25 feet, and at some point it's 30 feet, and at some point it's a mile. But you do it every single day so that your body grows into it versus that one day, everyone who signs up for the gym on day one, it's kind of I don't really know this, but I'm imagining this is how it happens is, you sign up for a gym membership, you walk in, you spend an hour there, you do every machine they have, and then you walk out of there going, ugh, and you can't go back the next day. That doesn't do us any good. So focus on the attendance side of working out. And then as you build that attendance in, your brain goes, oh, we do this every day. Great. And you do so little that you can do it every day, and then you just add to it so that you can continue to do it every day. Denise, I'm glad you needed this message tonight. Very fun. That's why I'm so appreciative of people writing in with everything that they have, because, man, yep. Good job. Susie says the same thing. I needed to work on your all or nothing mindset. Becky says, thanks for choosing the show. I really needed this. Yep. I think we all did, right? Ellen, yep, for sure. Ellen says, with the family and the fact that all I do is whenever I can do is great. And yeah, so, my full intention is to do this daily because I need it a little bit, and I like to interact, all that fun stuff. But yeah, there is a reality to it, is that it does, I told you this a couple times now. It takes me an hour before each show so here's what I do. I'll give you kind of a behind the scenes. So I take your email, right? And people, here's what I work off of. So I print it out, and then I make notes as to what I want to say. So there's Ellen and Lee, right? Happy birthday, Dad. And then so I take the email that comes in. I think you guys read it. So I take people's email. I put some line space in there so I can make some notes. And then I just kind of make notes and then talk to it. So this piece, for every show, if I do it independently, this takes me an hour to get this ready. So that's why, to answer sometimes, why I don't do a show is, here's the fourth email, right? So it's just my notes. So what happens is I have to be home by 9 o'clock to do a 10 o'clock show. And the reality is sometimes I don't get home until 9:30. So at 9:30, if I don't have a show prepared, I can't go live at 10 because it takes me an hour to get one ready. So I was hoping this weekend to get caught up, but I didn't get caught up. That didn't happen. But I got tonight's show done. Tomorrow I'll work on getting some others. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't get home till 8:39, sometimes later. So that's why that doesn't happen. So if I can get caught up on them and ahead of time, then it's different. But anyway, so the whole reason I share all that with you is just to let you know that the intention is absolutely to do this. But I would love that if I could find a way to make this a full-time job, and obviously get where I don't have to work, obviously, then that would be way more fun because I would much rather enjoy doing this. But so we do what we can do, and and there's now 134 episodes that you can dig into, and I'm pretty sure that if you went back and listened to them all again, you'd pick up something different because your mind is now in a different place. Very fun. So we got the warning over on Instagram. For those of you on Instagram, you only get an hour, and then Instagram cuts out. So about 1:40 left on Instagram, and then you'll cut out. We'll continue on Facebook for another 5-10 minutes or so, or less. Who knows? And then we'll go from there. But thank you all for being here on Instagram. I really appreciate you being here, and I wish you the best of focus for sure. Stay focused, disciplined, and you can get there. Yeah. Lee got at 2,000 steps just bowling 2 games. So Karen says, how do you get to the calendar? So Karen, go to FatDag.com and click on the tab that says events. That's the easiest way. You can also, I'll put a link in the show notes to each episode. There'll be a link there. And if you're on my Facebook or Twitter, the link is on the WhysAdvice Twitter page as well. So I put the link just about everywhere so you can get to it. Easiest is the website, FatDag.com. Kristen, 6,300 steps today. I wonder if I can't remember if I had my watch off today because it says I only got 2,000 steps today. I feel like I got more than that, but maybe not. I did take a nap in the middle of the day and I did get up late. Denise says, in your first New York City Marathon, a guy passed me with one leg on crutches. He passed me like you were standing still. Isn't that awesome? People can do amazing things if you really are focused on getting it done. Very fun. Okay, 15 seconds on Instagram again. Thank you. Have a good night, for sure. Lee on Facebook says, hospitalized Jell-O for breakfast, food during... Yeah, well, that's a whole different scenario, Lee, right? If you're in a hospital bed, at that point, you just take care of saving your life, and then you worry about the other part of it later. So, yeah. I mean, Lee, you've had some challenges, and you're still getting it done. Susie, rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, still getting it done. Very fun. Mary, you're very welcome. I know you will get back to Lifetime, and we're going to be here celebrating when you do. So, yeah, so Lee always makes this comment. I'm glad he does, because once you hit Lifetime, you're always Lifetime. There's just Lifetime at goal, Lifetime above goal, but you're always Lifetime. So you will get back to goal as a Lifetime member. So, very fun. Kristen, if you need more Weight Watchers friends on Facebook, then get into the WhysAdvice, the Wise Wingmen group. It's one word, wisewingmen.com. Go to there in your app. And all it does, I just bought the URL and I redirect it to a Facebook group. Nothing fancy. It's just a quick redirect. Rather than me saying facebook.com/group-food blah, 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 just say wisewingmen.com and it'll automatically link you to the Facebook group. And there's, I don't know, about 1,800 of us, 1,700 of us in there that are interacting. So join in there. Bunny, it says True Religion. True, it's a brand name it's a clothing brand name. It's popular out in the West Coast. Let's see. Lee's going to go back on and start episode 1, 22 hours. Paulette says Tony is a good sport. Tony Williams? I agree, if that's who you are. Ellen says maybe one day you'll get a big paying sponsor. Yeah, I'm not seeking it out. If it happens, it happens, but that's turns into work at that point. Right now it's fun. Laura, you're very welcome. Let's see. Yep, Deb, good night. Susie, your husband's out of town and says, what are you doing? He's like, I'm hanging with FatDag. Of course. Very fun, Susie. Thanks for hanging out with us. Very, very good. That's focus right there. No, not bad religion. True religion. I don't know, and I don't even know what it stands for. I like their jeans. So I wear, and this shirt's actually very, very comfortable. So I like it. But this is their logo. Anyway, it's just, I don't know, it's just a cool shirt. So, well, cool. Looks like I made it down to the bottom. Let's go ahead and get this show out so Dad can have a birthday present when he wakes up. Should I tell him that I put a message on the podcast, or should I wait and see if he replies? I know he listens to the show in the morning. I wonder if he'll be listening tomorrow. Maybe I should text my mom and tell her to nudge him just in case, because I don't want him to miss it, right? But anyway, have a great night, folks. Thank you for being here. What it does, again, more than anything, what it tells me is that you're focused on your own journey. And that's success. That's winning. And it's an honor to win with you. It's an honor to walk with you and watch you win. So keep up the great work. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow night's Monday. FatDag.com click on events when you get there, and you'll know if we're going to do this tomorrow night or not. I think we will. So, let's see real quick. I saw one more comment. Joanne says, don't know if she's still here, but you got a post that my daughter-in-law was watching. Hi, Christine. Hopefully Christine's still here. So, all right. Good night. Focus. Stay focused. Stay disciplined. You can get it. It's not about luck. I don't wish you good luck. I don't want you to hope to do this. I want you to do it, and it takes focus. So have a great night. I wish you good focus.